Presenter TV host. 10 minutes that shattered the logic of the music industry. Within a brief 10-minute window on stage, Courtney Hadwin does more than just sing. She performs an artistic exorcism that collapses all the logic of the modern music industry. A world accustomed to pop vocals polished to perfection by technology is suddenly forced to confront a raw, coarse, and uncontrollable force of nature. Those 10 minutes serve as authentic proof that the beauty of art often lies in honest imperfection and the courage to appear eccentric. She does not strive to please the audience's ears with sweet melodies, but rather strikes their consciousness with frequencies that vibrate through the soul. Courtney proves that to be a true rock monster, one must dare to cast off the mask of normalcy and let wild instincts take over the entire stage without reservation. It is a sonic rebellion that redefines what it means to be a performer in the digital age. Physical transformation, when the body becomes a wild instrument. The magic of Courtney Hadwin lies in how her body reacts to music, as if every bass thrum is an electric current directly shocking her nerves. When she begins to move, there is no neat choreography or professionally studied dance routines. There is only a pure, impulsive motor response. She jumps, shivers, and bends her body in ways that look almost painful, yet therein lies her power as a female rock monster.
Her body becomes an extension of the musical instrument, a visual manifestation of the beautiful chaos she voices through her throat. The audience does not just see a singer, they witness a kinetic phenomenon, where the boundary between the physical body and the rhythm of the music completely melts into a single, magical, and terrifying entity. She is a whirlwind of motion that demands the viewer's absolute and undivided attention. Courtney's vocals are a historical anomaly trapped within the body of a young woman in this digital era of 2026. Her gritty, natural vocal fry carries the weight of rock and roll history from decades past, as if she has swallowed the entire essence of the legends who came before her. In her 10-minute performance, she is capable of shifting from a threatening low growl to a high-pitched shriek that slices through the air with lethal precision. This is not merely a vocal technique learned through routine practice, but a primal gift honed by the courage to destroy standards of female vocal beauty. Courtney proves that a voice considered scary by some is actually the highest form of emotional honesty that has long been missing from the main stage. Her vocal cords are a battlefield where every note fought for is a victory for raw expression. Stage dominance, turning the arena into a personal kingdom.
The moment Courtney steps into the spotlight, her aura of dominance instantly swallows the entire arena, turning thousands of eyes into witnesses of her absolute power. She possesses the rare ability to make even the grandest stage feel small because the energy she radiates is so massive and unstoppable. The audience is given no choice but to remain transfixed and bow to the dark charisma she brings, a quality held only by true leaders of a musical revolution. This female rock monster does not ask for attention, she seizes it by force through sharp glares and an intimidating physical presence. In those 10 minutes, she proves that authority on stage is not determined by age or experience, but by how much of your soul you are willing to gamble under the lights. She reigns supreme over her sonic territory with an iron will and a golden voice. Little Miss Jagged, a manifestation of controlled rage. Through her latest works in the album Little Miss Jagged, Courtney demonstrates that she has successfully tamed her rage into a highly intelligent musical composition. Her 10-minute performance in 2026 is a showcase of the maturity of an artist who knows when to explode and when to provide a haunting silence. She no longer just screams aimlessly, she arranges every emotional outburst into a narrative that has a clear structure and purpose for her listeners.
This is what makes her a more dangerous rock monster. She has the intellect to manipulate the dynamics of her audience's feelings with subtle precision. Every lyric is a calculated strike, proving that her transformation from a viral girl into a visionary musician is complete with perfect results. She has found the balance between the chaos of her spirit and the discipline of her evolving craft. Defying gender standards, redefining women in rock. Courtney Hadwin boldly shatters the walls surrounding how a woman should behave and sound within the loud, aggressive genre of rock music. She refuses to appear graceful or sensual according to industry dictates, choosing instead to be messy, sweaty, and full of honest, non-aesthetic facial expressions. This female rock monster proves that feminine power does not always have to be soft. It can be harsh, noisy, and dominant without losing its core identity. In those provocative 10 minutes, she sends a powerful message to a new generation that being a woman in rock means having the right to be entirely wild. She is a symbol of rebellion against the double standards that have long stifled the creativity of female artists, making her the most authentic rock feminism icon of the modern era. Her presence is a loud rejection of the pretty stereotype. Emotional connection, a bridge to the listener's wounds.
The true greatness of Courtney's 10-minute stage action is her ability to build a deep emotional bridge to the hidden wounds of her audience. Her voice seems to speak directly to the darkest and most fragile parts of the human soul, providing validation for the pain that is often difficult to express in ordinary words. Those who watch her do not just feel entertained, they feel understood and represented by every shriek that leaves the mouth of this female rock monster. This connection creates an almost religious atmosphere in the arena, where thousands feel connected in the same frequency of suffering and resurrection. Courtney proves that rock music is not just about instrumental noise, but about how deep you are able to dive into the trenches of human emotion and bring it back to the light. She heals through the very intensity of her sonic storms. Independent courage, rejecting the mainstream label prison. One of the reasons she is called a monster is her courage to stand tall outside the major record label system that tried to tame her wild talent. Courtney chose a risky, independent path to preserve the authenticity of her voice so it wouldn't be contaminated by commercial interests that often kill unique creativity. Her 10-minute performance is a statement of artistic independence that carries a high price, where every note produced is purely her own choice.
Presenter TV host. She proves that an artist can reach the top of the world without having to sell their soul to contracts that bind their sharp aesthetic vision. This independence gives extra power to her stage aura because the audience knows that what they see is truth without filters, an integrity that is very rare to find in this age. She is the master of her own destiny and the architect of her own sound. Visual Aesthetic 2026, a blend of retro and the future. Courtney's visualization on stage in 2026 is a genius blend of dark 70s retro aesthetics and a mysterious futuristic touch. The clothes she wears are not just fashion, they are part of her stage weaponry to strengthen the narrative of an unrivaled female rock monster. Her hair, which often covers parts of her face during her performance, creates an element of mystery that makes the audience even more curious about the figure behind that extraordinary voice. The use of dramatic and minimalistic lighting in her performance supports the tense atmosphere she builds from the very first second of the music until the end of the 10-minute duration. She understands that in the modern industry, the eye must be captivated before the ear is satisfied, and Courtney executes this brilliantly. Her look is as much a part of her storytelling as her lyrics. The future of rock, becoming a torch for the lost generation.
Ultimately, Courtney Hadwin's 10-minute proof is a promise for the future of rock music, which has long been considered dead by many observers. She stands as a torch for a generation that feels lost and finds no representation in pop music that is too uniform and bland. As a female rock monster, she does not just preserve this genre, she revolutionizes it by injecting a new life that is fresher, bolder, and much more artistically honest. Her journey is still long, but the foundation she lays in every performance is enough to guarantee her name in the history books of world music. Courtney Hadwin is living proof that as long as there are souls brave enough to scream in the midst of silence, rock and roll will never truly die, but will always be reborn in a grander form. She is the vanguard of a new, loud, and uncompromising era.